Hey, we're back working on the green room renovation. As you can see, if you watched my last video, I finished this closet out. This wall behind me I framed out since then, and now I need to work on the last wall over there. So I need to clean up some garbage, take it to the dump, and then we'll be framing up this other wall. We'll see you then. This little pile of debris sadly was keeping me from getting this project moving forward. It didn't take much to load it up and haul it off the dump. Just like you can see here, just a small pile, and this roll of carpet was all that was left over. Carried it up and outside and hauled it off to the local landfill. Worked out pretty good. Okay, we just got finished taking out the remnants of the demo work we did. This is where the pile was. It's all cleaned up now, just have a few little pieces that we need to sweep up. And you can see that wall that I still need to frame out. Was hoping to salvage some of these 2x2s and other wood, but they were kind of holding up the process. I don't usually use 2x2s, and they were full of nails. A lot of them were rotted out, so I just decided to get rid of them all, take them to the dump, and that will make this project keep rolling again. So we will continue work. I'm gonna head to the dump right now, and then we'll be back here. Okay, we're back from the dump. Over here I've got, I believe that's a 2x10, and that's off of one of my pallet wood pieces. So I decided, since I was gonna be running another wall along here, along this other wall, that if I did it that way, then I'd have plenty of room for that sheetrock to tie into. That would make that process a lot easier. Made use of a board I wouldn't have otherwise used without trimming it down. So that would have worked out good. Most of these 2x4s I ended up having to start buying. Bought this pressure treated wood on the bottom, and a lot of the wood. I did have enough wood for the closet, a few pieces in the closet, but I've had to buy everything else. Oh, and then over here, also tied in up top here, I've got this board connected over, and then that one up top. So that's a separate joint. And then I didn't do anything with this one. Just have that nailed into the concrete along the base there. So that's what's holding that bottom end. And then up top here, it's kind of difficult. You can see I don't know how well you can see. So these nails are where the joist is above in the ceiling. So kind of had to go off at an angle and try and shoot it over and hit that in a few of these places. And then over in this section, didn't want to let those screws suck it in too much. Wanted to leave enough room for the drywall to fit up underneath there. I'm just trying to really plan ahead on this and do things smart. Do things, you know, it's not something I do on the day-to-day basis. So whatever I can do to make it most efficient for me, I'm trying to do. This wall is the wall I'm going to work on today. And 8 foot, we'll start on this end. 8 foot will bring us out to about here. So I'll build this in 2 sections too. Build an 8 foot panel, set it up, and then build that little smaller panel. I will need to take off this 2x2 as well as some base trim, just so that will sit flush over there. And then once I'm done with that, I think that'll be a good goal for today. It's a little afternoon, 12:30, 1 o'clock, so try and get that wall framed up today, and after that we'll work on some plumbing and electrical and insulation. Okay, so just finished taking off this trim, and they've got these little kind of like wet pieces. This section's about 1/2 inch, and then over here where this drywall seam is, they're a little bit bigger, about 1 inch. It looks to me like they tried to add like 1 inch of drywall because they didn't have quite enough. And I didn't realize this until I did some mold remediation for a job. but drywall is supposed to be a half an inch or an inch off the ground, so that if water does get on the ground, that it doesn't wick it up. And obviously right here, I mean, that's been a problem. All of this drywall that's here on the ground is just, I mean, you can see a little bit of black growth on there. I mean, just not good stuff. So, you know, now that I've cleaned this off, got rid of the lower section, I mean, that's the right height it should be. This trim came off pretty good. So, just thought I'd throw in that quick note on the why behind drywall. Okay, I've got this wall put up. We missed some footage. The GoPro battery did not charge last time, so got the 8-foot section of that wall done. As you can see over here, these 3 boards are recycled from pallets, and then these other ones are brand new. And I just had one left over that I needed to buy, so I went to Home Depot and spent a boatload of cash. So I've got another 2x4 there. I also cut this section out for electrical. On the other side of this wall, there's an outlet box right there, so we'll just tie in right there, and we will run electrical through this wall. We'll add an outlet here, run it all the way around, add an outlet here, not below the window, skip the window, add another one here, and then we will go up and over, and then we'll add one over here. We're going to have a little desk, and then also off of this junction we'll run up and do a light switch here and a light up in the closet. So we bought some electrical for that. We got some 14-2 wire. We got some of these nail plate caps. We've got 4 new outlets in this room. One switch, one light. We're going to swap out the switch in this room. We'll swap this switch out for a new one, and then also the outlet on the back side of this wall, we'll add a new outlet there. So that covers electrical. Plumbing. I'm not going to do all the plumbing yet. We want to do a pressure reducer here, but I will leave a hole cut out in this wall for an access panel, and everything I do, whether today or in the future, everything I do there will be made easily so I can do it in the future. So today I'm going to do all the upper plumbing. I'm going to add a new hose bib out here and plumb all my valves in there. So you can see I've got 4 valves there, or sorry, just 3 valves. And then I got some 3/4 inch pipe, a 3/4 inch hose bib. And then this PVC pipe, 1 inch PVC, is going to act as a sleeve. I'm going to run that up here. And I don't know how well you can see up here, but I just want to, I don't know, I'm not sure this is the professional way to do it. You know, I'm not going to be able to put little clamps on that hose, on that 3/4 inch pipe all the way down. It goes all the way out to the end of this room. And I'm just going to sleeve it in that 1 inch pipe. And then, you know, if there's any water hammering action, that will prevent that, hopefully. And then I can secure that on both ends. And there's also a cross brace here in the middle somewhere that I can set that up in. So I think that'll work well for that. Also picked up at Home Depot a snake here. And that snake is for the upstairs bathroom. I'll see if I can throw in some footage on that. That sink is really clogged. The bathtub's clogging up, and it's hardly draining now. I tried to pull it out. It got some gunk out of the P-trap, but it's not doing the whole thing. And then the last big thing is the insulation here. So we've got this big roll here was about 50 bucks. These 2 here were 15 each, so that's 80 bucks there. The 3/4 inch PEX, 100 feet, about 50 bucks. The valves are like 10 bucks a piece, and I think the 14-2 wire, it was 25. So, you know, everything in here, it adds up real quick. So, yeah, we've got the GoPro up here recording us, so we will see if we can get some good time-lapse video for this. Here I started with installing the outlet boxes. I placed them 12 inches to the top of that. Then I removed all these items I purchased from the store. Got them out of my way so I could keep working in there in that area. Here I'm drilling out the holes for the wire to run through. And then here I'm installing those nail protection plates and then following that with a cleanup. And then laying out my boards for the remaining of that framing of the wall. This last bit of framing took a few attempts. Used a pocket hole jig to attach it to the existing wall there, and then attach it to the green wall there with a few screws. Used a level to get it all squared up and lined out right. In the end, I'm pretty happy with how this whole wall ended up being. Here I'm drilling the holes for the new 3/4 inch PEX water line and putting those nail plates on. That worked out pretty good. I did install at the same time the hose bib on the outside. Didn't really film that. It's just it was cold outside and hard to film and a hard to reach area. And then here I'm pushing through the 3/4 inch PEX pipe. I had my wife help me with that. That helps having two people, one to push, one to pull. And then lastly here, really hard, difficult bend that was hard to push through. So I worked it, kept working the pipe, and ended up getting it the way I wanted it, and the corner ended up being right. So really happy with how this all turned out. Worked out really well. It's 9:14 p.m. What a day it's been. Well, I don't know, I feel like today's one of the most productive days on this basement project. I don't know, maybe I just feel like progress is finally rolling. First weekend I started, I got the closet done. Second weekend I got this wall done. And then this weekend I got this wall done. I've got electrical started. I've got plumbing started. So electrical, I've got all the holes drilled. At least, well, half of them I guess. Half the holes drilled and half the plates installed over to here. I've got all of the boxes installed except for this one right here, which I need to add a stud to nail that into. I've got the switch plate done. I've got the light fixture done. So I got half the electrical done. That went pretty quick. Ready to run wire. I've got this hose bib installed and 3/4 inch PEX pipe installed. So I've got two lines running down there. That way I can sheetrock the whole entire room and then just have my access cubby here, and I can get in there and add a pressure reducer and finish that out. Here I've got a 90-degree sweep right there. That was hard to install in this 3/4 inch PEX. I've got this 1-inch PVC pipe that runs all the way through here to the room next door, just right next door there. We'll go over there and take a look at that. Okay, we're in the laundry room here. You can see the other end of this 1-inch PVC, and the other side of this. This was a brutal run right here. So I started in the utility room and I pushed it up through next to these heating ducts, went up through the joists, and then sent it through. Oh, it was so hard. So these 1, 2, 3, 4 holes I only drilled out to 1 inch, and it was just getting super tight. I ended up oversizing these to 1.5 inches. They're kind of nasty looking, but that made a huge difference to getting these ran. A little while back I ran this other PEX, this 1/2-inch PEX pipe here and some PEX pipe here to the toilet as well as out to this hose bib. So that was my first experience on that, and I liked it, so I figured I'd do it again. Let's go over to the utility room and see where that roll is. Okay, behind the water heater and furnace here, we've got this roll of 100-foot roll of pipe here, and it's coiled up and it's going through right there, and then it goes through the hall and over to the other room. This was pretty hard to get through too. That's there's not much room left in there. There's a hot line running through there and then a couple of colds. So glad to have that done. It's been a long Saturday. Sorry, feels like a Saturday. It's been a long Monday. It's been a long day off. So lots of work done and glad to accomplish that. Well, it's been a long day. I'm pooped, ready for bed. Oh, ready for work in the morning, and glad we got a good chunk of this out of the way. Hopefully I can work on some of this other stuff on some weeknights and obviously some more Saturdays, and we'll just keep chipping away at this. This has been an ongoing project since I believe November now, and it is middle of January, so we'll just keep going at it, and we'll try and keep these updates as frequent as possible, and hopefully they're being enjoyable. So put a comment in the section below. Let me know how I can improve these videos, make them more interesting. If you want more details, less details, you know, whatever it is, any questions you might have on why I did things a certain way. So love it if you'd subscribe as well, and if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.